Hi Pisces, welcome. Pisces, this is going to be your spiritual reading and we're going to go ahead and get straight into it. These readings are timeless, so I just trust that when it finds you, it's for you. And yeah, so Pisces, when I was preparing for your reading, I was getting the song Isn't It Ironic by Alanis Morissette. You may hear that song, it may randomly pop up, and or you may resonate with that song. But I was also getting the phrase, isn't it funny? So to me, irony is funny. So there may be something going on in your experience right now that feels a bit ironic to you, or that at least you're being encouraged to find the humor in no matter what the situation, which I think is interesting because the first card out is the card of the square, which this can be a really challenging energy here. So this talks about tension, stalls, feeling frustrated, finding yourself getting easily irritated, maybe feeling like you're under a lot of demands or pressure. And so what better way to deal with demands and pressure and frustration than with laughter, right? Laughter can bring us out of any type of mood. And so you're really being encouraged, as all of my cards fall out, to find the humor, I guess, in whatever it is that you have going on. Even if it is a bit challenging at times. So let's get some more cards out and see where this is headed for you, Pisces, and go from there. So get an angel card out. And you have the 10 of Cups and the 10 of Swords. And for some reason, these cards are a little messy and wanting to fall out in large groups, but I'm not going to take all of them. I do want to take note that you have two 10s here, which talk about completions, beginnings, endings. Similar to what I got in the Capricorn reading, theirs was about changes and rebirth. If you have Capricorn in your chart, check out that reading. You may resonate with it as well. So this is talking about the home. 10 of Cups in this deck talks about home, family, but of course love and emotional fulfillment. And then the 10 of Swords talks about endings, closure, new beginnings. So there may be something going on in that arena of your life that you're finding a bit challenging here. And they're encouraging you to, again, whatever the challenge is, to step away from it a little bit and find your happy space. Like, no matter what we have going on in life or how serious it seems, there is always a silver lining to it, or some sort of growth and development in that challenge, right? And sometimes it's like, have you ever had a situation where if you don't laugh, you'll cry, or it's just like, it gets so ridiculous, you just kind of have to be like, oh my gosh, this is funny, you know, or find the humor in it. And it kind of moves you out of that space, even if it's dark humor, okay? So like, I think about comedians and their personality types. Comedians are very smart, right? Because laughter and sense of humor is derived from intelligence. So, but a lot of comedians will make jokes at their own expense, or about their own life challenges, right? And that's really smart, because what they did is they found a way to make life feel less heavy, less serious, by finding a way to poke fun at it, to find the funny in it. And it's really genius, to be honest with you. And a lot of comedians, I think, are genius, right? So yeah, that's kind of the overall theme that I'm feeling here for you, Pisces. We're going to go deeper into it and see what is going on in the headspace, what you got going on in the heart space and with your emotions, and the big spiritual picture. I did also want to get out, and I just noticed this. There's another 10 on the bottom of that deck. I don't know if you can see it. So 10, 10, 10 here. You have 3 10s. Maybe look up the spiritual meaning of the number 10. That may also resonate with you. And you know what? I just thought about this too, because I made a Capricorn reference. And Capricorn, I believe, is the 10th zodiac sign, correct? Yes, Aquarius is the 11th and you are the 12th. So again, another reference to Capricorn energy. So you have the card of, oh my gosh, I have to laugh. There's no way. You have the card of playfulness and laughter. I could not make this up. This is why I love tarot. Like, here I'm talking about be playful, be humorous about it. And the card of humor and play comes out. So it's like whatever you have going on, you know, I hate to say things like it's not that serious because I never want to make light of anyone's struggle, but in Spirit's eyes, when they can see the total picture, the big picture of where you're headed, that is how your source sees it. It sees it as never a moment to cut yourself off from the joy of life and what a blessing it is to be living. And so there's a total picture that wants to come in here. And then the card of celebrations and fun. So it's almost like, now some of you are getting to this point where maybe you've had some challenges and you're getting to like the F it point where you're just like, you know what, I'm not dealing with that anymore. I want to have fun. I want to feel good. And good for you, because that is exactly the space that you're being kind of pushed to. Because we'll entertain negativity and we'll entertain negative thoughts until law of attraction gets a hold of it and makes it grow to the point that it's so uncomfortable that it almost forces you to try something new or to change your perspective because it becomes painful, right? So it's almost like, all right, enough of that. Why not go towards something else here? And why not go towards something that feels much, much better to you, Pisces? So let's see what's going on in the headspace for you. The Page of Cups, the Ten of Wands. I also feel a little bit breathless right now, almost like out of breath. I don't know if any of you are runners or you're feeling out of breath lately. And now I can hear that Beyonce song. I don't know what it is. Moment, catch my breath. I don't even know the words to it. Anyways, something about catching your breath. All right, so Page of Cups, Ten of Wands, the Fool, the Seven of Wands, and the Hanged Man. So, Pisces, there could have been some heaviness, again, around the workplace, around the home, or friendships, or all of the above. But it just feels like things were like piling on. And then it's like needing a break or wanting a break from that, and maybe even granting that break to yourself. Like, okay, that's enough. You have the Seven of Wands here, which is feeling like under pressure, feeling pushed up against the wall. And Spirit is saying it's all a play on the mind. It's perspective. When we feel like we're under demand or pressure, it is because we're allowing ourselves to believe that we are somehow obligated. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying we don't have responsibilities or obligations in life, but when things start to feel heavy, it's because you've taken the joy out of the equation. You've taken the funny out of it. You've taken the fun out of it. Maybe something that used to be fun no longer feels that way. And maybe that is your sign, right, to pivot in a different direction here, Pisces. But a lot of times it's not about changing your action or your job or your partner or anything like that. Most of the time it's simply changing your mind, changing your perspective. Can you see it in a different way? Can you make it fun, right? So to give you an example, like when I was building my career, I had to do a bunch of jobs that I didn't necessarily like, you know, but I needed money. So, and you can't really grow a career unless you start somewhere. So I knew that I had to come to the job, even though it wasn't something I necessarily would choose for myself. So I don't have a choice, so to speak, there. However, I do have a choice on what I give focus to and how I feel while I'm working. And so what I would do is I would entertain positive thoughts in my mind. I would make it fun. I would find a way to have something to look forward to, even if it was just my lunch break, you know, or having a coworker to joke with, or the ride to work if it was pleasant, enjoying that. Making it challenging for myself. When I used to wait tables, I would make it a game. I would see how much I could use my charisma to get tips, to get money, right? And I would challenge myself, and that would make it fun. So it's like finding a way to make whatever you have at hand fun. And it doesn't necessarily need to be related to work. That was just the example they were giving me. But for some of you, yes, this is absolutely related to that. But it could also be about just being in an uncomfortable situation, or, you know, needing to maybe do something that isn't something you would choose, but you have to do it anyways. And it's like, all right, well, find the fun in it. You know, find a way to change your perspective about it, because the only person in control of your thoughts is you, right? And you can pivot those thoughts however you want. And by the way, as you're able to find more joy and more fun in your life, obligations, things that you don't want, things that you don't like to do, begin to dissipate out of your external reality, and you start to cultivate a life that you want. So to give you an example, after I was able to do that in my entry-level jobs, it naturally led to the next and the next and the next, promotion, 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 independence, abundance. It leads to that doorway for you. So let's go a little bit deeper and see what is going on here in the emotional love arena of your life. Your cards are really jumpy. I don't know if you're feeling a little jumpy. What is this about? All right, Ace of Pentacles, Page of Swords, Six of Swords, the Ten of Pentacles. Where you go? I want to catch my breath. There's that song again. So you have two pages here, which isn't my favorite energy. Sometimes it talks about immaturity, or I don't know if you're dealing with like immature people, or you yourself are still growing, you know, when it comes to your own development. But the Page of Swords is here in the emotional self, which is like this very skeptical energy of like, some of you have an opportunity here, like a big opportunity or something that's very meaningful to you. But at the same time, it's like there's skepticism around it, or maybe like looking to find some distance or a resolution around that. But yet the Ten of Pentacles is here. So it's like, why are you skeptical about something that could ultimately pan out for you, that has the wherewithal to bring you to where you want to be in life? All right. And again, I'm feeling heavy messages around work, but this could also be a relationship. Say you're very skeptical about a commitment here and wanting distance, and yet that commitment could lead to something much greater than that, or a greater level of security, right? So it's like shying away from something that has the opportunity to develop into more because of like a temporary emotion, right? Or a temporary fixation is the word that they're giving me. It's like, here's an opportunity, you can go for it, but there's a lot of hesitation here. There's a sense of, too, like feeling overwhelmed or obligated. And therefore, it's bringing skepticism to something that the universe wants you to see through, like, the eyes of possibilities, right? It's like a great opportunity or possibility coming through, and as opposed to seeing it as an opportunity, seeing it as an obstacle, or like yeah, but I'm not sure about that, but Spirit's urging you towards that. They're wanting you to take a second look at whatever you think you've made your mind up about, because the energy right now seems to be a little cloudy. And if you're not feeling at your best, or you're feeling a lot of challenges, to wait until that dissipates, until you feel a little bit more playful, and then take a second look at whatever it is that you're being skeptical about right now. Because there's something here on your path, Pisces, that is for your highest good, and yet there's the Nine of Wands, which is this reserved type of energy, like feeling a bit reserved about that, having reservations. Okay, so you know, feel it out if you need to, right? But make sure that you're not looking at a situation through the lens of the problem as opposed to the lens of the possibilities, because sometimes we often do that with our own negative thinking. It's like this: law of attraction is always in place. So whatever is brought into your life, whoever is brought into your life, including family, including co-workers, is for a purpose, right? And the purpose is for your highest good, and you're meant to appreciate love what is brought into your life. But sometimes we attract things to us and then we're like, yeah, why is this in my life? Or, you know, we think that maybe the universe made a mistake, and it did not make a mistake. There are no mistakes. Everything is a perfect match to why you're here and where your vibration is at, and you need to see it as such and accept it through the eyes of gratitude. So let's go into the bigger picture. Even if it's like, even if you call in something that is sketchy, there's still a purpose for it, right? There's still a purpose for that, even if it is to show you what you don't want. It's always purposeful. That's my point. So you have the Seven of Swords, the Three of Cups, and the Queen of Cups here. The Two of Swords. Yeah, wow. Okay. And there's an additional message, and I'll get to that in a minute. Lots of swords energy. I'm not too crazy about that either. But Pisces, you don't trust whatever is happening right now, or you know, let me get a good sense of what this is. You don't trust that things are truly going to come together. Maybe you don't even trust what I'm saying. Maybe you're like, yeah, I would never call this into me. I would never attract someone like this or an experience like this. But I promise you, law of attraction is consistent, is as consistent as the law of gravity, right? So you've drawn in something to you that feels off, that feels sketchy, or a person maybe, and there's the skepticism around it. And that's fine. Listen to your gut instincts, right? And maybe there does need to be some sort of closure or ending there before you can go into this more playful energy. But I am getting a strong encouragement to take a deeper look, or take a second look as to how this could benefit you. Or there's always a benefit to whatever is brought and whoever is brought into your life. It's just whether you can see it that way, whether you can see it through the lens of your higher self, and your higher self sees everything through the lens of love. So it's this interesting mix here where there's boundless opportunity, there is security here, some sort of commitment here, and yet uncertainty, yet skepticism, yet not trusting, yet heaviness and challenges. So it's like, how can this be for me and challenge the hell out of me at the same time? But you know, people and situations that challenge us are our biggest motivators for growth, and really are the biggest blessings that could come into your life, even though it doesn't feel that way in the moment. But in the big picture, after the moment has passed, if you can have enough hindsight to look at it that way, you'll see how it benefited you. And there's something here that feels like a challenge, but is actually of benefit to you, because it's helping you to gain some sort of new perspective on something that's really meaningful and important to you. And yet there's a lot of emotion involved and some uncertainty here about how to feel. There is communication coming in here as well with the Knight of Swords, but it just right now feels a little murky. That's like the best way I can describe it. And FYI, because there's a lot of sword energy here, you could also, you know, I heard watch your tone, okay? So tone and inflection mean a lot. Be careful when you're not feeling well about how you're speaking or who you're speaking to, as I feel like you could be brash is the word that I'm getting, which can't we all, you know, when we're feeling a certain kind of way. And I get that you're feeling some kind of way right now, but I'm also hearing don't be so quick to judge here. So it's like, I feel that it's so complicated that you almost need to take a break from it. Whatever this is that you have on your mind, or whatever this is that feels like a challenge, it's almost like, okay, break time, right? Like, give yourself a break. Some of you are definitely in that space where you are, yeah, needing that break. And that's all right. I feel like that is what is needed here before you take any action, make any decisions, or communicate. I also got the message, but keep your eyes on the prize. Like, why are you in this to begin with? So I want to go back to the story that I told about my entry-level job. At times when I was in those jobs, it definitely felt challenging. And during those challenging times, I had to ask myself, like, why am I doing this to begin with? And that's because the greater overall prize was worth the temporary challenge. And don't ever forget that everything is temporary, right? Energy is temporary. Your moods fluctuate. Situations change. It's a constant evolving. Your life is a constant evolving energy being. I don't know how else to put that. So whatever the challenge is, just know that it is temporary, and that and that there's a bigger goal in mind, or there's a bigger picture in mind. And to keep that in mind, I guess, Pisces, to help you find this more joyful way of approaching things, this more playful energy, to find the irony in it, to go back to the original message, and maybe even the funny in it, because this is going to dissipate, and after a period of maybe exhaustion comes clarity and this playful energy. So wow, very, very interesting reading. And I want to go to the guidance card, but I feel like there's another message here, and so just give me 1 second. Yeah, so another message is like, I have adult viewers, but we all have this like little kid inside of us, or like this little inner part of us that has yet to fully develop or mature. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like when I was a kid, I had this image that adults were like super mature and responsible all the time, until I became an adult. And then I was like, whoa, I thought I'd be way more adultier by now, but I'm not. You know what I mean? Like, my body aged and my, you know, everything else aged, but like my mind is still Dana, right? And so I feel like some of you, it's a bit like that. Like, gosh, I thought I'd be so much adultier by now, but like, take the pressure off, because we're all just big children. We're all just big children. Not saying that some aren't more mature than others, or that there's not growth throughout your entire lifespan, because there is. But, you know, it's all right to have your inner child, because we all have it inside of us. And some of you, it's your inner child that's coming out, coming to the surface, the more immature part of you that still needs development and growth, and that's all right. So they're saying, you know, don't beat yourself up for that, and don't be ashamed of that either, because we're all just pretending here, you know. I'm just saying, we're all just pretending. We're all pretending. So why not poke a little fun at it? Why not have a little fun with it? Why not be okay with that? Why not? Why not? Who cares? None of us are getting out of this alive. All right, so your guidance is embrace the moment. Embrace this day, this very moment. Think positive today. Repel those negative thoughts. Try not to judge yourself or others. This may be harder than you think. What is actually happening is that you're changing your energy, and that's exactly what the original message was here for you, Pisces, was to embrace the moment and find a little bit more joy in your experience. So, wow, beautiful reading. I'm going to leave it there. Zodiac signs you could be connecting with or have in your own chart. I have Aries, Pisces, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Scorpio, Libra. Those are the predominant signs, and I felt a Capricorn reference as well. But take what resonates, leave what doesn't. If it did resonate, do let me know in the comments down below. Also, don't forget to give me a like, share, and subscribe if you haven't yet. You can find me on Facebook and Instagram for more fun stuff, as I do have videos and content over there. Tarot Time with Dana is the name of it all, linked in the description box as well as the About section. Otherwise, wishing you the very best, and until next time, namaste.